So the answers are here, and nothing tricky really popped up. It was just area is equal to 1/2 base. I mean, 1/2 height times the base sum of the bases. Right. I guess this one might be considered tricky, but I mean, if this distance here is 16 feet, then that means that this distance here would be 16 feet. So the height of this isosceles, this trapezoid is 16 feet. Okay. So now we're on to rhombi and kite. And so a rhombus has all sides congruent. Right? So you want to think a square, and a square is a rhombus. But remember, a rhombus can also be tilted. So I always think of a rhombus as being a square that's been kicked. And then a kite has exactly two consecutive sides. Consecutive sides congruent. So a kite looks like a kite, and a rhombus looks like a square that's been kicked. Right? And so the area for rhombi and kite is the same. It is 1/2 the product of the diagonals. 1/2 the product of the diagonals. So you want to remember here for the area of this rhombus, a rhombus is a parallelogram, and parallelograms have. A rhombus is a square. No, I'm sorry. A rhombus has all sides congruent, and so what we need to do. Oh no, we were given. Okay, so we're given that the distance from one vertex to the other vertex, namely these two vertices, is 9. So we're given this diagonal is 9 centimeters. So finding the area is easy. It's just area is equal to 1/2 times 7 times 9. So what is that going to be? 0.5 times 7 times 9, 31.5 centimeters squared. And then over here we have a kite. Doesn't really look like a kite, but it is a kite. And so remember, it's 1/2 times diagonal times diagonal. So in this case, we have this side of the diagonal is 24 feet, that side's 24. So this diagonal would be 48, and this diagonal would be 28, because we're adding up the two line segments. So our area here is going to be 28 times 48 times 0.5 is 672 feet squared. So pretty straightforward, right? It's just 1/2 the diagonals. And let's go ahead and do 1 through 6. And then when you finish, you can go ahead and try 4 to 6. And 4 to 6 is a little bit tricky because they're giving you the area, and then you need to use the appropriate equation to substitute into to calculate the height in this case, or the diagonal in this case, or the diagonal in this case.